Hi everybody, this is Gail, and I'm re-recording all of my videos for the class, so I'm posting them every day just a day late. I apologize for that. It just takes me a minute to get them done and published and sent and all that stuff. So this week you are doing kind of an extension of last week. So last week you did a literature review table. And this week you're going to come out of that table and again be writing a full paper, if you will. So you'll go back to your APA formatting with a title page, with a reference list, with in-text citations. Of course, at least one in-text citation for every reference that you have in your reference list. Of course, whenever you state a fact that you are doing an in-text citation. In this one, you will be dividing up all of your articles that you review into sections. And I definitely have people that will put like the title of the article and the author at the beginning of that section with a header, and then they put their summary underneath. But I still want you to do at least one in-text citation at the end of that. And if all of your paragraph is from the same author, then one in-text citation at the end of that paragraph is fine. I also wrote on many of your papers last week, don't use quotations. Quotations are really out for graduate work. We want you to paraphrase so that we can see how you're taking in the information that you're reading, the evidence, digesting it, and then putting it out in your own words, but still presenting that evidence, and then giving kudos, giving the author their due credit by doing an in-text citation. Really direct quotes, we did those in our bachelor's, we did those in high school, and we don't do it so much in graduate work. The only time that we would do it is if we needed to use those words, because by altering them, it would change the essence of the words that the author was trying to do, such as if you were quoting Shakespeare, you would use his words, right? You wouldn't paraphrase Shakespeare. You'd use his words because his words are important. But when you're looking at evidence through research studies, you can digest that information, spit it out in your own words, and still keep that information true and then cite the author. So in this, you're going to be looking at each of those articles that you used last week. If you have changed your topic in any way, that's fine. You just still have to do that number of articles. You don't have to use the same articles you did last week, but you can. But you're going to do a summary of them. And then you're also going to have a separate section, and a lot of people miss this. Look at your assignment, but you have a section at the bottom where you're going to look at the validity and reliability of the studies. And this is really kind of a summary of all your studies and the reliability and validity of those studies. Some people do go ahead and address it in each of their paragraphs, but you would need a separate header for each one of those paragraphs on each article, or just simply have one header at the end where you address all of them. But I need to know, and it needs to have a header in some way so that I know that you've fulfilled that part of the assignment. So I know that it seems like I'm such an APA stickler and that I am really into headers, but I'm really teaching you a way to write that organizes your thoughts so that your reader has an easier time of reading it. And if you do plan on taking more courses, you guys have at least one other course, I believe, and that's your internship. You can always be sure that you have hit all your points of your assignment, and you're going to get credit for those if you use headers. If you don't use headers, sometimes you just get lost in your own blah, 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 just word, and you don't know where you're going. But this keeps your thoughts organized too, and you can look back and you can see that you address this part of the criteria and that part of the criteria and so on down. And so can your instructor. And it keeps us from going in there and having to really micrograde and try to find that stuff. Because when we go in and we micrograde and we're looking for that information, if we can't tease it out easily, we're going to find a whole lot more that we probably don't like in there than if you had just labeled it, made it easier for us, and we go, yeah, they did it, check mark, and yeah, they did it, check mark, okay? So just something that I learned in school, and I'm still in school. So good luck to you this week. We go kind of back into more papers, of course, next week. And we're doing papers until the 7th week when you do a PowerPoint presentation of your project, and then the final week where you take all of your sections that you've composed, you put them together in one final project. You take out the intros and conclusions for each one, so that you just have one intro and conclusion, of course, for your final project, not 20 of them. But you take all those sections, you put them together, and then you're going to have appendices as well, where you're going to have multiple things, and we'll talk more about that. The PICO template is certainly one of those. You've already done that, but you're going to be adding on, I think in section D and E, you're going to be adding on a budget and a timeline and a resource list, and a change model that you're going to do graphically too. So more to come, lots of fun. And if you guys have any questions, just text or call me. If I can't pick up right then or I've gone to bed, then just text me. I'll call you back in the morning, okay? Thanks, everybody, for hanging in there. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. Take it easy. The first paper is always a little lower scored, but everybody survives when they hang in. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.